Hi guys, happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a good day and I hope you guys had a good spring break. Sorry, my lighting is kind of weird. I don't know if that made it any better. All right, so before I get into what we're doing this week, I wanted to give a quick shout out to a few of you guys. I finally went through and figured out who won the riddle challenge. So in my first block, I had two people that got all of them right. That was Josiah and Zane, so shout out to you guys. In my second block, I had Katie, who got all but one right, so got 19 out of the 20 riddles. Go, Katie. And then in my third block, I had Chase, who also got 19 out of 20 of the riddles. So thank you guys for doing that. I'm going to try to figure out something that I can give you. As of right now, we're still going back to school May 18th, so I can give you something in person then. And if not, I will figure something out, I promise. So let's talk about what we are doing this week. We are still in Module 4. We are still talking about space. So as always, you need to go to Canvas. So you're going to go to Courses, and I'll just go to ELA. So you should see the page. Looks like that. Same page as last time. Hi, Maya. I'm sure you guys missed your Maya content. So you're going to go to Modules. Maya. She's rubbing herself against the computer. Stop, please. Thank you. Okay, so we are on distance learning week 2. These are the week's dates. So you have a few activities here. So we're just going to start with the first one. Now the first two are not actually things that you need to turn in. So this week you really only have 4 assignments. I read your reflections from last week and it seemed like, or the week before, I guess, it seemed like some of you guys said it took longer than your other classes, and I understand that totally because reading just takes longer, right? It takes longer to read a full reading passage than it would to answer some math problems. So I took that into consideration, and really you just have a text, a note catcher, and then a 3-question exit ticket. And then your reflection is the same thing as last time. It's just for you to tell me, did you think this amount of work was good? Was it too little, too much? Give your thoughts on the work that you did. So really just these 3 main activities. So I shortened it down from last week. I think you had 4 or 5. So I shortened it down so hopefully it's more manageable. So the first thing that you're going to do is the introduction. So this is just a little bit, excuse me, just information about what we're doing, what our essential question is, that your work is posted on Tuesday. It's due Wednesday. This is where this video is going to be linked that I'm filming right now. I'm also going to be doing Zoom tomorrow at 10 to 11, so the link is right there. I will also post that in Google Classroom. If you need to email me, it's here. You can also email me on this inbox right here. Yeah, so that's this first page. So that just kind of gives you an idea of the rundown of the week. So nothing to turn in there. The next thing is a video. So similar to last week, we have a video right here. And Maya's playing with one of my pens. Can't do anything without this dang cat. Okay, so a few things here. It looks a little bit different. So this week our text is called Team Moon. So in this video, you're going to listen to Miss Rodwell, another English teacher, read the text. After she reads the text in the video, she's also going to walk you through these annotations. So these annotations are what you're actually going to turn in on the next assignment for the next activity. So I'll show you that in a second. So you're going to watch the video. You're going to listen to Ms. Rodwell explain. It's about 15 minutes. Then she has a little information about point of view. And then this is just directions on how to submit stuff in Canvas. So I'm going to go to that activity next. So again, on this page, make sure you watch this video. She reads the text aloud and she walks you through annotations, which you're going to have to turn in. So please watch this video. I think it's really going to help you. I watched it too. It's very helpful. So if we go back and we go to the next thing, it says Teen Moon text activity. So this is what you're physically turning in. So you're going to make a copy. So if you click here, you hit make a copy. Hold on, forgot you got to change the screen. All right, so here's my copy. This is a little bit of a longer text, but I think it's kind of fun. I think you guys will like this text. It's an excerpt from a novel. So you're going to read this text, and then you're going to annotate it. So if we go back to this tab, let me change it real quick. I think we're back. I don't know where my face went, but okay, here we go. All right, so you're going to read the text again. You're going to annotate for 2 things. So Ms. Rodwell explains this really well in the last video, But again, you're annotating for words and phrases that reveal what the author believes about the Apollo 11 mission in blue. And then you're also annotating specific challenges faced by the team members across the different phases of the mission. And that's going to be in yellow. So when you're finished, you're going to turn this in. Please upload the file. I had a lot of issues last time where you guys were emailing it to me, and I appreciate your emails, love to hear from you, but it's difficult when I get like 100. It's difficult for me to keep track of who's sending me work because it really just fills up my inbox and it all gets kind of jumbled and lost. So please turn it in on here. If you want to share it with me and you're confused, please like email me and I can look at it to help you. But please make sure you turn it in on Canvas. If you don't, then I'm not going to remember that you emailed it to me last week, blah, 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 and you won't get a good grade, right? So please make sure you turn it in on here. You can upload the file. A lot of you guys linked it and then I didn't have access to it, so I don't know how to fix that. But just make sure if you are doing that, you make sure that it's viewable or editable by anybody in CMS. That should be an option. So this is the first thing that you need to turn in that is for a grade. So then if we go back, we have a note catcher. And I heard you loud and clear from last time that we don't really like to turn in documents. With the text activity, there was no way for me to not have it as a document for you to turn in. However, for the note catcher, we turned it into a text box. So this is a note catcher. It was formatted just like your usual note catchers, but instead we put it as a text box. So you're going to write your responses to these 3 questions. They need to be in complete sentences, and you need to reference the text from Team Moon, the one that we just talked about. In order to access the text box, some of you guys were having trouble with that, you have to submit this blue button up here. It's not on mine because I can't submit it, but on yours it would be a blue button and it would say submit assignment or submit. You hit that and the text box pops up. So you need to answer these 3 questions. I think this one is pretty self-explanatory. It's very similar to the note catcher from last time, except for it's more focused on point of view. The last one was more key ideas. So that is the note catcher right here. Again, this is for a grade. And then the last thing is your exit ticket. It is called a quiz. It's just an informal grade, but still a grade. So the way this works, you have 3 questions, so 3 points. There's no time limit, so you can take as long as you need. However, you only get 1 try. So you need to do your best your first try, right? Because if you miss one, that's the kind of the crappy thing about having 3 questions, right? If you miss one, it already kind of makes your grade really low. So you want to try your best. So you're going to read this quote. There is a glossary that you can use. The quote's right here. And then yours looks a little bit different. I'll hit preview. Hopefully that will work for me. So then it has your 3 questions. So please make sure you read these questions clearly, correctly, especially for number 2 because you're picking 2 phrases. So really it's out of 4 because you want to get both of these right. And then you're going to hit submit quiz. So that is the last thing that's for a grade. So let's go back to our module though so we can see the last thing that we need to do. The last thing is the reflection. Now, like I said, your reflection is not a grade. It's just for me and for you to kind of reflect on what you learned. It helps me decide what we're doing the following week. So you're picking 3 questions to answer. Now, some of you last week did for the topic and you did every single box. And then you also in your reflection said it took you a really long time. That's because you did all of it and the directions did not ask you to do all of it. So please make sure you're reading these directions because some of you are taking a really long time to do things because you're doing more work than you have to. So it says select 3 of the reflection questions below and respond in complete sentences. So was the amount of time you spent on this week's lesson more or less or the same as other classes? Why do you think that? So same questions as last time, a little bit different, but mostly the same. So again, pick 3. It's going to be a text box again, so you need to hit that blue button to get a text box, and then you submit it. Maya's running around like a crazy cat. So we'll go back to module real quick. Nose is itchy. Okay, so this is your work for the week. I think it should take you no longer than 2 hours because that's really what ELA is supposed to take. All your classes are supposed to be about 2 hours of work. So my hope is that this takes you about that long. If you have questions, please email me. You can also, like I said, inbox me here because that goes straight to my email, so I will respond as soon as possible. I will be online to help you guys from about 1 to about 3:30. So if you need help during that time, I will be super quick to respond and help you out. And then again, tomorrow we have a Zoom call from 10 to 11. I'm going to go through all the activities, kind of run through them. If you have specific questions, you can ask them there. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys have a good time doing this work. I think the text is really interesting. I think you're going to like it. So yeah, all right. I will see you guys tomorrow in the Zoom if you come. Bye.